Yo, what's good, you guys? Your boy, Mahari here, representing Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. Finally a beautiful day outside, man. It's been raining a lot this past week, which contributed to a lot of the flooding here in our city right now, here in Minneapolis. You know what I mean? I saw a lot of the flooding down in the southern areas of Minnesota too, man. So thankfully we can at least get a break, and hopefully a lot of the water resides down. But I wanted to talk about, the recent suspension that was laid out by Ryan Garcia. As most of you guys already know, that the New York State Athletic Commission basically stripped away his victory and turned it into a no contest, and now he's going to be serving a 1-year suspension. The way I'm going to say it here is, he got off with a very huge slap on the wrist, and you got to credit his legal team for pulling a lot of the strings to try to minimize his punishment. Because trust me, if everything was going to go the opposite way, which many of us predicted, he could have had a 2-year suspension at least. To me, he should have had at least a 2-year to a 5-year suspension. Hit him hard where it hurts. But you know what? He got the 1-year suspension, and the victory that is on his record has already been erased. So that's good enough for now. The one thing that I will say here is that this whole entire saga really has taught us a lot of things. One is that you can't trust anybody in these boxing, circles. Two, that you can't always satisfy your haters and your critics. And I hope that Devin Haney can learn that, because I already saw on Twitter that he's basically saying that he preferred not to have that loss as a disqualification victory, and he would rather run it back. But my issue with that is there's no need to run it back. Because Ryan Garcia doesn't deserve a rematch because of the way he treated the whole entire process. Coming in overweight, using an illegal IV, and then using Osterine, an illegal PED. Like, there's no reason for the guy to have any type of rematch or any type of huge fights anytime soon. But now that this punishment's been served up, he's going to be going through a lot of lengthy lawsuits, particularly with Logan Paul, basically going through a libel lawsuit with him, and then also paying the heavy fines by the New York State Athletic Commission too, and having his purse stripped away. I mean, it's gonna hit him the worst. And when I was on Drew Titan's live stream on Friday night, I pretty much said that this is only the beginning, because for me and the way I look at the whole situation, the guy has always had huge drug problems, right? He always comes around, says reckless things, and then burns bridges with a lot of people. And I'm going to tell you something. If this kid don't get himself right, I promise you, he's going to end up in a very terrible situation where he cannot get himself out of. All right? We already saw what he did with the whole Caleb Plant and his wife situation. Him talking smack to Earl Spence Jr. and his wife on Twitter. Listen, the guy is an out-of-control mess. And it's only a matter of time before he does something really stupid that is going to hurt him physically and mentally. So, the only thing I got to say for a lot of you Ryan Garcia people, y'all should be all over his DMs. Y'all should be all over on Twitter telling him to seek help, tell him to get his act together. That's the first thing you got to do. And secondly, you got to put a hard line on this kid and make sure that this kid does not do anything to disgrace the sport. Fight clean, stay on weight, and fight for championships. But unfortunately, what we see from Ryan Garcia is a microscope of what our society is today. These cats today are seeking clout, seeking attention, and seeking just the first quick, thing that can go viral all over social media. They're not looking at the principle. They're not looking at making achievements and building a legacy for themselves in sports, in particular in boxing. And I'm going to say on a side note, Tank Davis, don't think for a second that it won't happen to you. All right? You saw what they did to Devin Haney, what they did to Wilder and to Spence. Don't think for 1 second that it won't happen to you. Because when it does, when they start doing a lot of the dirty things to you, don't come over here crying afterwards. That's all I'm going to say. But at the end of the day, I wish Devin Haney and his family the best, and hopefully that they can come back stronger than ever. And more importantly, take this as a learning lesson that you don't always have to satisfy your critics and satisfy your haters. Be the best version of yourself and fight the best fighters out there, and respect, and always continue to respect the sport like you always have. Your dad and your family's got your back, and so you don't have nothing to worry about it. So, but it is what it is, man. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And with that, I'm out. Peace.